Good afternoon. Welcome to Urban Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to be having an essential conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be able to benefit your well-being in addition to your personal development. But in regards to today's conversation, we're going to be talking about building a positive self-image, navigating society's standards versus personal identity, right? So the purpose of this video is basically to address the peer pressures and things that you guys are going through, the beauty standards, in addition to how media offers, strategies for cultivating a positive and authentic self-image. This session will also explore psychological impact of those and societal pressures, and provide actionable steps on how you're able to embrace your own identity, because we're all unique, we're all special, we all have our own gifts, and I really want us to be able to take in consideration how we're able to really embrace who we are and not find ourselves getting too lost into the sauce when it comes to society's expectations and just getting ourselves into things that we don't need to be in, right? So please tune in. So the first segment I want to be able to talk about is the peer pressure of society's beauty standards, right? So from the fashion industry to social media, society beauty standards bombard us, daily, right? Because we're always consuming something when it comes to the television or even the media with our phones. But I want us to really consider how these standards shape us and how they affect us, right? So I want us to explore how these external ideas can influence our self-image. And I really want us to really be thoughtful and intentional about, what we're consuming, and really be, critical about our thoughts, right? So research insights from a study by Dr. Naomi Wolf and other experts show that beauty standards are not only unrealistic, but can be harmful, leading to increased body dissatisfaction and low self-esteem, right? So for us to avoid, have a low self-esteem, we have to embrace who we truly are. Like I said, we all have gifts, we all are blessed, but we all have to do the personal development and do the research and dig deeper into finding who we are to be able to embrace who we are, right? You never know if you don't find. So key points I want to be able to bring into consideration is the evolution of beauty standards, how standards of beauty have, changed over time, thin to curvy, pale to, tan skin. So for different people, they have different standards based off of their culture, based off of, media. However, I just want to be able to put this into consideration. But the next is going to be the role of media. So media's portrayal of beauty often is unrealistic, distorts what people think that they should look like or have, or what things should be. So I really want that to be in consideration as well. And the next is going to be the social media effect, right? So social media's role in portraying a narrow beauty idea is the impact of self-worth, especially amongst teens, right? What we're supposed to look like, guys having a body, trim body with the muscles, girls, depending on culture, but main thing that we're seeing right now is the BBL stuff. So just having that slim, curvy figure. So all these things is really, causing people to do things to their body, change things. I remember back in the day, the Kylie Jenner challenge, or whatever you call it, Kim Kardashian, the bottle challenge. You guys know what's up, you know what I mean? So doing silly things to change who you really are, and this definitely affects your self-esteem. But in regards to some research, I want to be able to include that studies by the American Psychological Association shows that exposure to idealized beauty standards in media can lead to higher levels of body dissatisfaction and low self-esteem, as mentioned. So this is major, because if we don't find who we are, you're going to be something else, and you're going to be dealing with all these type of implications and mental health distress that we can avoid by spending time to assess our decisions, our consumption, and our choices, right? And then truly embracing who we are as one. Next segment is going to be the psychological impact of beauty standards, right? So I want us to take consideration, how does these societal pressures manifest in our minds, right? Like I said earlier, be critical. I want us to really think. It's more than just comparing ourselves to others. It's about how we measure our own worth. So let's explore the psychological effects of these beauty standards, right? So key points I want to be able to bring into consideration to our conversation is going to be cognitive dissonance, which is the conflict between internal identity and external expectations, right? So who we are, and then dealing with external expectations on what you're supposed to be, right? Who's going to tell you what you're supposed to be? You tell them what you're supposed to be. You dig? You control your life. You steer in the boat. You dig? I want you to take that in consideration, because life is what you make of it. Keyword, you make of it. But the next thing we're going to be talking about is the body image in regards to issues, right? How unrealistic beauty standards often lead to body dissatisfaction, leading to eating disorders and low self-esteem. So these things definitely do affect us. The next is going to be impact on mental health, right? So the increase in anxiety, depression, and even self-harm linked to societal pressures to conform to certain beauty ideas. So when it comes to research psychology today, we found that women exposed to idealized beauty images had higher rates of body dissatisfaction and depression, with a direct correlation to social media use, right? So I wanted to take in consideration that a lot of our feelings, our emotions are tied to social media, is tied to the image and tied to things that are trying to have us get into disalignment to who we truly are, right? But when it comes to, I don't want to just kind of highlight when it comes to women, even though that this research was indicated for women, but overall, because we're all impacted by social media. But just to get to the focal point, we need to spend more time on our personal development and really put down the social media, so we don't have this dissatisfaction or that depression, because it is linked to the social media. Moving to the next segment, we're going to be talking about embracing your unique identity, right? So it is crucial to remember that beauty is diverse, and our self-worth doesn't hinge on fitting into society's box, but how we embrace our authentic selves in a world full of unrealistic standards, right? So let's just keep it a buck. I'm gonna break this down again. It is crucial to remember that beauty is diverse, right? So like I said, in a cultural standpoint, every culture is unique, every culture is special, every culture is different, and we have to embrace who we truly are, right? When it comes to health, on that point, talk to your doctor. Look at yourself and do your own personal improvement. If you want to work on your weight, work on your weight. If you try to get more muscles, hit the gym, work on it, work on that, right? But having the proper support system, hanging around the right people, and doing proactive things that are going to be in alignment to getting to your goal will help you out. But we got to stop looking at what other people got and trying to manifest what other people got and are doing. We got to focus on what we're trying to do, what we're trying to be, and what ways we can get there, right? And there is support systems, there's support groups, and we have to proactively find them and get ourselves acclimated to them, right? But I want to take this into consideration because, like I said, I want people to avoid having that dissatisfaction and that depression, right? But let's discuss how power of self-acceptance and importance of building a healthy self-image, right? So some key points I want to be able to take into consideration is defining self-worth beyond appearance, right? So encouraging individuals to focus on qualities that make them unique, right? I want you to take into consideration like your kindness, your intelligence, your creativity, you know what I mean? You're more than just the external. You're more than just what people see, right? Don't get it twisted. When you love yourself, it's going to show, right? But at the same time, too, there's other qualities, other traits and things that you're good at that you got to also embrace. Next is going to be self-acceptance, right? So the first step towards building a positive self-image is accepting yourself for who you truly are, right? So in order for you to, for instance, right, for order for you to get the body that you desire, you have to really look at yourself from where you are right now, right? And love yourself and tell yourself that I love myself. This is who I am right now. This is where I'm at. But this is not going to define me, right? I can still improve. I can get better. And that's how it goes, because you got to look at the journey. It's everything in life, that's good takes time, And when it comes to self-acceptance, that's a really big part, because when I look at myself in my middle school, high school days, my body obviously was different. But when you take care of your body, you're preserving it, you're working out, you're drinking that water, you're taking care of yourself, you got your mind right, and et cetera, et cetera. Time moves on, your consistency with it, you're going to see the changes, you know what I mean? Think small, but move proactive. And when you do that, things will happen. However, the next is going to be inner beauty, right? So how cultivating qualities like empathy, resilience, and authenticity leads to true beauty, right? Be who you are. Stop trying to be like a imitation, or you're mimicking someone else. Like, be who you truly are. It's nice to see that other people have different personality, different qualities that you may like, right? But just the focal point is making sure that you truly embrace who you truly are, because that's the beauty. You know what I mean? And once you realize that, the sky's the limit. When it comes to research by Brene Brown's research on vulnerability and self-acceptance, it shows that people who embrace their imperfections are happier, healthier, and more confident. That's from Brene Brown's book. But however, I want you to take that in consideration, because when you truly embrace who you are, you love yourself, which is the true beauty, as I just mentioned, you are happier, healthier, and you're confident. And you embrace who you truly are, and ain't nobody can stop you. You feel me? But the next segment is going to be the role of media literacy and deconstructing beauty myths, right? So when it comes to media literacy, is a key in challenging our societal, standards that make us feel more inadequate. So we need to really take in consideration and explore how we can become more critical consumers of media, right? Media is always going to be there. Newspapers always going to be trying to be printing something. News got to stay in business, trying to, give us information, etc. But we got to take in consideration what's coming in our mind. Are we evaluating these thoughts, or are we just, like letting it just affect us, right? So by understanding the media's role in shaping our perceptions, we can, begin to deconstruct beauty myths and really embrace, a more inclusive ideas, right? And embrace ourselves, right? You got to really understand that people are going to have their perception. People are going to have their own perspective on how they see things, how they want things to be. However, we're entitled to really control what we want things to be in our life, right? Whatever I want in my life may be different from what you want in your life. However, it is what it is, but we really have to understand how things are affecting us, right? So another key point we're going to talk about is understanding media manipulation, how filters, photo editing, and selective, portraits in media, distort the real world. Everything that you may see out there may not be real. And I want you to take that in consideration, because things that you may see, behind closed doors, it ain't really it, right? Like I said, when it comes to filters, editing, and moving on, right? The next thing is going to be body positive movement, right? So the rise of social media influences in campaigns that promote body diversity and authenticity, right? So that's some type of involvement that you want to take in consideration, because we want to have that inclusivity and that diversity to make people feel authentic, happy, and really just, embrace who they really are. Next thing is going to be challenging unrealistic beauty norms. So how promoting inclusivity in regards to beauty standards in media can combat harmful effects on self-image, right? So really understanding and challenging unrealistic beauty norms, because it does affect you, and you don't need to even really take that into consideration if you really are trying to avoid that. I also want to be able to include from a 2018 study from Psychology of Popular Media Culture found that media literacy programs help individuals develop a healthier relationship with beauty ideas by recognizing the artificial nature of media portrayals. So we got to take in consideration, like I said, a lot of things that you may see out there is not real. It's artificial. It's trying to get likes or get your attention, and you out here getting lost into the sauce, not recognizing that there's some tricks and things that people are doing to keep you glued, right? So I want you to take that in consideration when it comes to that media. Next segment is going to be practical strategies for cultivating a positive self-image. So I really want to stick in consideration, because building a positive self-image is a process, but it requires effort, mindfulness, and consistent practice. So let's dive into some, practical strategies that are going to be able to help you, develop a stronger and more authentic self for yourself, right? Number one is going to be, daily affirmations when it comes to practical tips, right? So writing things down and repeating positive affirmations about your body, abilities, and your worth is going to be essential, right? Only you know yourself more than anybody else out there, and by practicing this is going to really be able to help you get that confidence, feel more assured of yourself, and you're going to be feeling way different than an individual that's lost into the sauce when it comes to the media stuff, right? But the next practical tip is going to be mindfulness and meditation. So practicing, this is going to be able to help you become more aware of negative self-talk and refocus on positive thoughts, right? Life moves fast, things are happening fast. We're getting a lot of information pumped in, we're seeing pictures, etc. But by doing the mindfulness meditation, it allows you to slow down, allows you to reassess, allows you to assess the thoughts and things that you're going through, you're feeling, or like we mentioned before, that negative self-talk for positive self-talk to realign yourself, right? Next is going to be surround yourself with positive energy, right? So engage with social media accounts and communities that celebrate diversity, beauty, and self-acceptance. So get yourself around, people that are going to be able to help get you where you need to be in regards to a positive mindset. We don't want you to be self-sabotaging. We don't want you to be stagnant, stuck, feeling torn up from the flow up. So you have to be able to take into consideration, surround yourself around with positivity. Next is going to be gratitude practices, which focus on what your body allows you to do rather than how it looks, right? So stop focusing on the exterior, stop focusing on what people think of you, all that other stuff. They ain't gonna be there when perhaps you're in the hospital and you're going through it, for instance, like that. You know what I mean? When things get critical, when things get real, most of the people to the left and right of you won't be there. So I want you to take in consideration, when it comes to, surrounding yourself with positive people. But in addition to that too, research insights. So studies show that individuals who engage with daily affirmations and gratitude practices report higher levels of self-esteem and reduce body dissatisfaction. So by practicing daily affirmations like mindfulness, surrounding yourself around positive people, and then gratitude overall, this is going to be able to help you reduce that body dissatisfaction, helping you have, better self-esteem and feeling more adequate, right? Next segment is going to be the role of support systems and professional help, right? So individuals participating in group therapy or positive, body positivity support groups, professional therapists, are able to really help you with that counseling in a proper setting, obviously. But when it comes to some key points, I want to be able to highlight, therapy for body image issues such as CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, is a particularly effective for challenging that negative self-talk and those thoughts that are coming through your mind, improving your self-image. Support groups is another one that's going to be able to help you feel valued, and connecting with others and that are going through similar experiences, whether in person or online. Next is going to be, the role of family and friends when it comes to encouraging a supportive and non-judgmental environment at home or social circles. So just having a proactive support system for yourself is going to be great when it comes to this, body dissatisfaction, and just trying to make us cultivate what we want to be and where we want to get is essential. So when it comes to research insights from a 2020 study from American Journal of Psychiatry, we found that therapy, especially CBT, is highly effective for people dealing with body dysmorphia and low self-esteem, right? So overall, when it comes to therapy, it's going to be able to help you out, get you that treatment, and help you really understand those internalized thoughts that are coming through your mind. Overall, when it comes to this video, we talked about people standing confidently in their own skin, engaging in various activities that make them feel more empowered, also really understanding the external versus the internal, and understanding that when we focus more on our internal, our own self, and really embrace ourselves, things become better for us. Also too, we're not lost in the sauce when it comes to what is it called? What is that word that I used earlier in regards to that it's just not realistic, you know what I mean? Non-realistic reality. So at the end of the day, embracing your authentic self is a more powerful thing than you could do. When you stop measuring yourself against unrealistic standards and start celebrating your uniqueness, your self-image, things will change, they'll transform. So when it comes to the true beauty of this, when it comes to the body, it lies within. And the key to positive self-image is understanding and embracing who you truly are inside and out. If you found this video was beneficial, give it a thumbs up. For more intentional content, please stay tuned in, and we'll see you on the next one.